I'm moving to clause number 8. 8.1 Operational planning and control. The organization shall plan, implement, and control the processes needed to meet requirements and to implement the actions determined in clause number 6 by establishing criteria for the processes, implementing control of processes in accordance with the criteria. DI shall be available to the extent necessary to have confidence that the processes have been carried out as planned. The organization shall control planned changes and review the consequences of unintended changes, taking account to mitigate any adverse effect as necessary. The organization shall ensure externally provided processes, products, and services that are relevant to ISMS are controlled. एक ये क्वेश्चन आपके पास बार बार आएगा. ISO 27001 has not outlined a lot of requirements around vendor management, but because auditors come from experience of other ISO standards, so vendor management matlab anything externally provided processes and products इनके अराउंड कंट्रोल्स एग्जिबिट करना है, स्पेशली व्हेन दे आर vis-a-vis your information security. तो ये एक important question होगा. So you can look at the ISO 9001.
Aparna, are you sharing something? Can't see.
आपको screen you can't see the screen?
No, not now.
Okay, let me stop share करके दोबारा कर रहा हूँ. Others, are you able to see the screen?
Now it's visible. Thank you.
So I'm mentioning that the ISO 9001 has a well-written document on how to handle vendors. So ISO 9001 का vendor management wala section could be very handy when you are looking at this, and even from a auditing standpoint, इसको refer कर लीजिए and ask those questions. 8.2 Information Security Risk Assessment. The organization shall perform IS risk assessments at planned intervals or when significant changes are proposed to occur, taking into account the criteria that was established in 6.1.2a. The organization shall retain DI of the results of the IS risk assessment. जो अब तो सारा कुछ वही करेगा, refer to clause number 6. तो risk assessment का डॉक्यूमेंट वो आपसे डिमांड कर रहा है. 8.3 Treatment. The organization shall implement the IS risk treatment plan. The organization shall retain DI of the results of information security risk treatment. So whatever we've done as part of our clause number 6.1.2, अब वो उसका implementation और उसका documentation वो आपसे डिमांड कर रहा है. Overall, अब तक जो हमने पढ़ा, because now we are headed to clause number 9. अब तक जो हमने पढ़ा, how well do you guys understand now? अभिलाष, कितना समझ में आ रहा है?
सर समझ में तो आ रहा है सर अच्छे से. बाकी जो क्वेश्चंस होंगे वापस जब मैं पढ़ने बैठूंगा तो फिर मैं आपसे पूछूंगा.
रितु, क्वेश्चंस? सत्या?
Makes sense. Most of the things are, relevant to what we are following.
Cool. Rakshika?
This is clear, sir.
Shri Harsha? We're good so far?
Yes, sir. No issues.
और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक छोटा सा पोर्शन बचा हमारे पास, क्लॉज नंबर 9, 10. 10 में तो कुछ नहीं. एक इंटरनल ऑडिट इज व्हाट इज अ लिटिल डिस्कशन थ्रेड. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बिफोर वी मूव टू द एनेक्स्चर्स, टुमारो वी शुड स्पेंड टाइम ओनली क्रिएटिंग द चेकलिस्ट. now we should start work on creating the checklist, etc. So that उससे understanding भी improve होगा और comprehension भी better होगा. You will understand कि इसका auditee कौन होगा. You will understand. So what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do some portion with you and then you do it? How do you want me to take it further?
Yeah, let's do it collaboratively, because I think then we can thought about, I mean, whatever is there in other people's mind, like you mentioned, that we can understand it more while we're discussing it. So the first
ठीक है.
half, I mean, we can do it collectively, and in later half, I mean, you can give us a, I mean, individually based on our understanding.
ठीक है. Makes sense.
I mean, that's for me. I mean,
I'm also agree with.
Cool है. Let's move further.
प्रणय जी, जैसे कि मेरा क्या है, मैंने सीसा और CISSP हम दोनों की पढ़ाई की है, तो मेरे को चीज़ें तो काफ़ी क्विकली समझ में आ रही हैं, बट इसका प्रैक्टिकल इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए मेरे को आपसे थोड़ी हेल्प चाहिए होगी, बिकॉज अभी तक जो भी नॉलेज है मेरे पास, दैट इज कम्प्लीटली बुकिश नॉलेज.
अंडरस्टैंडेबल. तो आपको इम्प्लीमेंटेशन समझना है, ऑडिटिंग समझना है?
मेरे को ऑडिटिंग समझना है.
ठीक है. तो व्हाट वी विल डू इज, वंस वी हैव गॉन थ्रू द स्टैंडर्ड, मैंने अब जो पिछले 4-6 महीने में जो ऑडिट्स किए हैं ना, उसका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है मेरे पास अवेलेबल. ओके. तो उन डॉक्यूमेंट्स को अपन दोबारा ऑडिट कर लेंगे.
ठीक है. एंड
So that
also
you know.
one more request, Pranaji. Can I be part of one of your audits so that I can learn live?
You're more
If
than welcome,
possible.
brother. More than welcome.
Okay. So in next audit, please inform me advance so that I can apply leave and be a part of your team.
Sure. Now we are moving into clause 9. 9 मतलब performance evaluation. 9.1 monitoring, measurement, analysis and evaluation. The organization shall determine A, the need, what needs to be monitored and measured, including information security processes and controls. Ideally, this is the list of your IS objectives. अगर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने केयरफुली इसको बना लिया है, तो IS ऑब्जेक्टिव्स की ही लिस्ट को जनरली मॉनिटरिंग मेजरमेंट में अपन रखते हैं. The methods for monitoring and measurement analysis, etc. When will this be done? Who shall monitor? When the results from monitoring shall be analyzed and evaluated? Who shall analyze and evaluate these results? DI shall be available as evidence of the results. The organization shall establish the IS performance and the effectiveness of IS management system. So typically, performance evaluation is what is needed. और परफॉर्मेंस को असेस करने के लिए एक आसान तरीका वही रहेगा, हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के ही बेसिस पे कर लें. बट देन इट आस्क्स यू फॉर अदर डिटेल्स, व्हाट हैज टू बी डन, what is the method for monitoring, measurement, analysis, etc. When will it be done? Who shall do it? How? When will it be evaluated? And who shall analyze? Instead of trying to complicate, you can simply look at, if you are an implementation professional, you can simply look at information security objectives and take it forward from there. 9.2 we'll discuss tomorrow because that's a very important element for us. 9.3 management review. 9.3.1 general, top management shall review the organization's ISMS at planned intervals to ensure its continuing suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness. Management review inputs. The management review shall include considerations of the status of actions from previous management reviews, changes in internal external issues. So आपके पास एक list of inputs है जो mandatorily provided है by the standard. Management ये inputs mandatorily आपको mention करने हैं. Whatever was the discussion point on these have to be mentioned. And then the output, the result has also been mentioned for you. The results of the management review shall include decisions related to continual improvement, opportunities, any need for changes in the ISMS. So whatever inputs you've used, कोई भी छोड़ना मत, लिस्ट में सब कुछ रखिएगा. एक भी छूट गया तो आप उसको नॉन कन्फॉर्मिटी मार्क कर दीजिए. अगर आप इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में है तो ये लिस्ट कंप्लीट रखिए. जो चीज डिस्कशन नहीं हुआ उसको नॉट एप्लीकेबल कर दीजिए, बट डू नॉट मेस विद द लिस्ट. द लिस्ट शुड बी यूज्ड एज इज. यू कैन इंक्रीज एनीथिंग दैट यू वांट, बट इस जी से ए से जी तक जो मेंशन्ड है वो सारा का सारा शुड बिकम पार्ट ऑफ योर डॉक्यूमेंट. एंड देन एज अ रिजल्ट यू विल आइडेंटिफाई अगर इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी में कोई चेंजेस की जरूरत है और एनी सब्सिक्वेंट एक्शन दैट हैज टू बी टेकन. DI shall be available as evidence of results of management reviews. Clause 10, improvement, continual improvement. जब कभी भी आप रीसर्टिफिकेशन पे जाएंगे इस क्लॉज का बहुत ज्यादा इस्तेमाल होगा. सो एक बार का सर्टिफिकेट में तो ऑडिटर इसके पीछे कम पड़ेगा, बट जब आप रीसर्टिफिकेशन पे जाएंगे तो लॉट ऑफ फोकस हैज टू बी मेड as an auditor also on how have the systems on information security improved vis-a-vis what they were yesterday. एक important element that ISO will always talk about is non-conformity and corrective action. Please realize एक term is intended outcome. Whenever you do not achieve the intended outcome, वो आपसे root cause analysis और corrective action demand करेगा. तो कहीं भी इंफॉर्मेशन एज अ ऑडिटर आपको डिमांड करना है करेक्शन और करेक्टिव एक्शन. लेट मी रीड दिस आउट टू यू. 10.2 non-conformity and corrective action. When non-conformities occur, the organization shall react to the non-conformity as applicable, take actions to control and correct it, deal with the consequences. ऑफिस में आग लग गई तो ऑब्वियसली सबसे पहला काम करेंगे जो आग बुझाना था, जो लोग उससे परेशान हुए, जख्मी हुए, उनका ट्रीटमेंट कराना है. So obviously the first step is to deal with the consequences and control it. B, evaluate the need for action to eliminate the non-conformity. So if you feel that it requires determination of the root causes, then you review the non-conformity, determine the causes so that you could prevent recurrence, implement any actions as needed, review the effectiveness of these corrective actions taken, and make changes to the ISMS if needed. So whenever there is a non-conformity, so let's say someone did not you did not find a non-disclosure agreement signed by a few employees. Correction क्या है? Get it signed. अब आप ये सोचिए कि इसका रूट कॉज क्या था. उस रूट कॉज को फिक्स करने के लिए आपने क्या किया? And then also evaluate whether the root cause fixing that has happened that led to effectiveness or not. With me, everyone? Simple hai? People, you must realize this. whenever there is a non-conformity का मतलब कोई भी laid down process has not been met, internal audit में कुछ feedback आया, external audit में कुछ feedback आया, या any intended outcome not being met, तो पहला स्टेप आपसे वो कह रहा है करेक्शन करिए, जो भी इमीडिएट एक्शन लेना था वो लीजिए. देन इट सेज आरसीए करिए, उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करिए, and then review the effectiveness of the actions that you've taken. Documented information shall be available as evidence of nature of non-conformity and the subsequent action taken and the results of any corrective action. This finishes our clause wala segment from information security standpoint.